Smell like a sound, I'm lost and I'm found, and I'm hungry like the wolf. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Creator Chronicles. I just released a video for Hungry Like the Wolf, which features this sweet guy. He's got a big role in the video. And I thought for today's episode, I would try to walk through all of the different steps that goes into making one of my YouTube tutorials. There's so many different steps, from arranging to practice teaching it to my patrons, to the shooting, recording, the vocal harmonies, to the video edits, the font choices, the color choices. I think it'll even just be illuminating for me to see all of those steps laid out. So let's do it. So the first step is creating an arrangement that I think will be accessible for people to learn from at home. I get to test out that arrangement with my patrons in a live lesson. And so that's great because they can give me feedback. So then, I can tweak the arrangement if I need to. And the practice of teaching them live online informs how I'll edit the video so that it can be really accessible for people who are watching at home. I also typically practice performing the song in a 5/5. Sure how to end it yet. In preparing for the performance of the song for the video, I want to make sure that I mostly have it memorized, that I could play it through pretty well without having to look at the chords and lyrics. Recording on the green screen, I actually prefer recording on the green screen, or I'm just currently really inspired by recording on the green screen because it's less about setting up my background or the lights and whatnot, that once I have the green screen, I can do whatever I want with it creatively. So that's actually really cool. In terms of then determining the look of the video, that was a challenge because with my last green screen video with Dancing in the Moonlight, that was pretty obvious. The title kind of tells you what's going to happen. We're going to dance in the moonlight. Whereas with Hungry Like the Wolf, I had to decide, is it going to be creepy? Is it going to be kind of Halloween-y? Is it going to be more jungle-y like the original video? And then, when I was involving my animals in it, I was trying to capture them on green screen, but it was difficult because animals are very hard to control. Chewy got a lot of treats. So I just had to try a lot of different things. Whenever you're creating anything, you have to be really open to trial and error. I think, you can look up things to do. You can try to get your best advice from people online or experts or whatnot. But in the end, in order for you to grow, you really just have to try a lot of things and cultivate really your own taste by trying a lot of different things. So this is how I came up with the look for Hungry Like the Wolf. So I basically went online and searched for all the different wolf wallpapers I could find. I wanted that iconic image of the wolf howling in silhouette with the moon. It was when I came upon this pink one that I really felt like a connection. Right? After trying a few different ones, the pink with the purple, that just really struck a chord with me in terms of it being 80s. And so then I really hung on to that. I'm like, okay, I love the 80s, and this is an iconic 80s song. Let's go with an 80s vibe. And from there, it was a lot easier. I had to, try out layering different wallpapers to get the right vibe. I was trying out different creepy fonts, but once I landed on the 80s, then I could go to looking for 80s fonts. And then it was just a matter of narrowing down to a font that was really legible. That's pretty much it. And so I really like this one that I found. It's called Forgotten Futurist. Yeah. Something special for this video was that I really wanted to record those vocal harmonies, and I didn't have time to do it the way I normally would, which is through Logic and through a professional microphone. So I just plugged in my USB mic and then tried to record it to GarageBand, but then it had an issue. For some reason I had a Final Cut issue with it. So instead what I did was I just used the voiceover function in Final Cut Pro, and that was my first time trying it, and I thought it worked out okay. So it's like an opportunity to learn something new by virtue of necessity. And then in terms of the arc of how I used the animals, I took both Chewy footage and Mochi footage. Mochi's my cat. At the end, the cat footage didn't work out, and I figured I'd just focus on the wolf anyway, which is Chewy. I just got really excited about this one jump that Chewy had. At first I was like worried that would I gross everybody out with so much slow motion tongue licking from Chewy. Sometimes you just like take the best clips and just drag them onto the timeline somewhere, and sometimes you get lucky with where it lands. I've learned from the recording process that sometimes the mistakes or the accidents are the parts you like best. So the end montage with Chewy was a lot of just, taking the best clips and hoping they would fit together okay. So I'm realizing that there's so much more that I could talk about in the process of the making of this video. So I'm going to keep this going in terms of documenting the behind the scenes about how I make these videos. If there's any specific questions that you have about something I touched upon in this video, or something that you saw in the Hungry Like a Wolf video that you're curious about, drop me a comment and I will try to answer it for next time. Awoo!